I'm live. One sec. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. We can get started, Carol.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's session. I know in the West Coast is about 5 p.m. Everybody is pretty busy with work, and welcome, everyone. I would like to introduce myself first, and then you go second. So I'm Carol. I'm a data scientist from Microsoft, and I'm also a community leader of Seattle Long Group. I founded this group about 2 years ago, where we started just from like 3 people. And then now it's growing to over 1,000 people community in Seattle. And most of our members are local tech people. And we have a really dynamic group. Basically, everyone is pretty engaged in this group and contribute different ideas. So we would love to, if you are interested in some activities like book clubs or professional development in local Seattle, then please follow me. Nancy, your turn.
Awesome. Thanks, Carl. So I am Dr. Nancy Lee. I am an immigrant, also YouTuber, and also director of product. Today, and actually I'm sharing with you guys regarding the women in leadership in tech world. The reason was because I am dedicated to help women and immigrants to advance their career, to transition from worker bee to a product manager and business leader. I work as a full-time director of product in a company that is one of the biggest private-owned company in the U.S. And at the same time, I also have my own YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Dr. Nancy Lee. I think lots of you guys have heard my YouTube channel before. I also have a program that's called Product Manager Accelerator to help people to become a product manager in the tech industry using the most effective way. So you guys can check out my website at drnancylee.com.
All right, great. Thank you, Nancy. Today, we would like to start with some simple questions collected from our fellows. Maybe Nancy can help to answer several, and if any other people have ideas or want to join the discussion, please feel free to raise your hand so we will let you speak. Nancy, I know the top one question is if we want to transit from a IC to a manager for women, especially, what your suggestion in a tech world?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Quick background about myself, why I'm answering this question was because I transitioned from an individual contributor to a director product within 4 years. So there's many different mistakes I made earlier in my career that slowed down my career path, and also something helped me to accelerate my career. So that's so much I would love to share with you guys about my failure and lesson learned, also like any advice I can provide. So for this specific questions, you guys talk about how to transition from IC to a manager. There's several steps going into it. And first of all, I think the basic mindset people need to set ahead of time is that you need to behave like a manager even before you become a manager. Same thing as you need to think as if you're a product manager before you become a product manager. You need to act like a CEO before you actually get a title of a CEO. So this is very critical, but not lots of people start to think that way or do it that way. For example, if you make any decisions, let's say you need to lead a team or lead a meeting, and lots of time you don't know what you need to do, or you have a conflict with other people, then you ask yourself, if I am the director, what would I do? Then the answer is much easier. And from there, it helps you to start transition into a manager or director position. And the second step I recommend everyone start doing today is that it's really highlight your achievement among people around you, including your boss, your peers, anybody around you. Doesn't have to be only manage up. I have seen lots of people only manage up, and his peers, nobody like him, and manage down, nobody like him either. I don't suggest doing that. What I mean is that if you have made any accomplishment, any achievement to other teams or to your own team, you need to be very proud of yourself and start to socialize the impact of your achievement. The third thing is that, which is very critical for lots of us. I know lots of us are immigrant like myself. You need to learn presentation skills as early as possible. This is also very critical, a tipping point of my career, because presentation skills is a sign of you have the leadership. You're able to articulate, this is something I need to do, and this is something other people can see the outcome of my team's accomplishment, right? So really hone your presentation skills is a key to be perceived as a leader and get promoted as a leader as well. And finally, it's also, I encourage everyone to continue learn the management skills. When we talk about learn management skills, it's not just saying that, okay, let me watch few YouTube videos. Of course, you should check out my YouTube videos. But still, you need to take a course. Even before I became a manager, I took many different courses. I spent thousands of dollars learning, okay, how to manage people, like how to be a better leader. And then after become a manager, I continue to take more courses just to improve. And each time, even if let's say you take the same concept of management courses, but you have different life experience than what you took it 2 years ago. And now you digest better, you implement better, which also help you to get promoted from maybe a manager to director or any other senior level VP down the road as well. So keep on learning different kind of new skills and assuming what the next step you need to be learned ahead of time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. In the audience, if anyone has any question to Nancy, it could be any question in terms of women leadership or in terms of career development, just raise your hand.
I also want to add something to the audience, and because it's a clubhouse, right? We usually do it on YouTube, and only 1%, 2% is speaking. Because clubhouse is supposed to be a discussion, so feel free to raise your hands so that you can join us and just join the conversation or discussion. It doesn't have to be me speaking or talking. I think it's important that people start to share your stories, maybe the mistakes you made or current challenges you make, and then everybody help you to think about what's a better solution. The best way to learn is actually to bring up your current situation and directly have a mentor, have someone else directly tell you, what if you think this way? So therefore, bring your cases to this talk as well.
Correct. Yep. Anyone has any questions? If so, I can ask another question just to generate some energy here. Another question is, I always got some, I don't know whether that's a bias, like PM can get promoted very fast as a data engineer, or I mean, a software engineer is hard to get visibility. What's your thought?
To be honest, everyone needs to define its own happiness, career happiness, and its own promotion. Your definition of promotion is different. If you want to get promoted as a senior data scientist or senior engineer, and I think you should stay in your lane, because there's always opportunity to get promoted in your lane as well. Product manager in general are perceived as a leader in many organizations, and that's normal, just because the role we design product manager to be the CEO of the product, but doesn't mean that as an individual contributor product manager, it's easier for you to be promoted as a director of product or VP of product, because the competition is as strong as data scientists, to be honest. But I do think that if you want to hone different kind of leadership skills, communication skills, or take on different challenges, you can consider to be a product manager, see if you like it, and stretch your capabilities a little bit. That will open lots of doors for you.
Awesome, thanks. I see Yakun has joined. Do you want to speak?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Nancy. Nancy, actually, I kept following you during a long time. So maybe I just quickly introduce myself. So I just arrived in Toronto after working 5 years in Paris and in Poland, across Europe.
Yeah.
And so my background was is that I spent 1.5 years working as consumer specialist in user research at L'Oreal at the headquarters in Paris, and then I worked as end-to-end product delivery consultant at a consulting firm called Capgemini. It's at the same level as Accenture, but it's not that famous in North America. So basically, my background is really user research plus product management, and I may come back to that maybe later. So I just want to come back to what you said about women leadership. And to be honest, I think since I'm a Chinese, and I think by nature that I'm not that I'm turned to be moderate and modest. And when I first came to Paris, and French people are really arguing, and they're debate on everything and whatever is useful or something, but they just debate. So I was not that comfortable, because in my approach, I prefer to arrive in the meeting room. I prefer to look at the behavior of other people. And then once I feel comfortable, I start to jump into the conversation. And actually, the first thing is that my French manager told me that actually they're really looking forward to that I can bring some different perspective into the meeting. So they really encouraged me to talk. And then I start to do French people, but in a more practical way. And so I mean that I really bring some approach, really pragmatical and a solution-oriented approach, and I think this really help. And second thing that I really want to share is that recently, when I come to Toronto, I discovered a book that I guess it's very famous. Maybe most of you already know it. It's called Prague of Peggy Close. And I think this book is really good. Give you really concrete examples about how to brag, and how you tell your story how to enrich your stories by naturally introducing your achievements. And I really recommend this book called Brag of Peggy Close. I think it's really good.
Awesome. And thank you for sharing your story, Yukam. And actually, on behalf of the audience, I'd like to ask you a question. You said you eventually invented a way that's your way, combination of the Chinese way and immigrant, plus a French way to help yourself to stand out. Can you give all the audience an example how you do the specialization so that you don't lose your own authenticity, but still being a French sometimes? So give us some examples.
Let me think about it. An example. Just like this. Actually, French people, they are really, there's one thing maybe when I studied in Paris, and it's hard to quickly come up with an example.
You can give us anything in general. It's fine. It's a conversation. It's a clubhouse. No, it's not a real job interview. So take it easy.
I'm thinking of when I studied in Paris, and there's once they will work on a platform which is help people to organize weddings. And actually, the way that we organize wedding is I think the first year when I first arrived in Paris, and the way that we organize wedding is very, very different. And so French people kept repeating their experience when they attend friends' weddings, etc. How well they are organized, but actually I have no idea about what they are talking about. And then so I will just stay quiet. I understand all what they said, but I just cannot interact because I do not share the common experience.
Exactly.
And then there is one teammate said that Kun, you're really quiet, like debate with us, give us what your ideas. So I saw that actually in China, what is the way that we organize weddings, and I even saw some movies in India, how people organize their weddings, different countries have different ways. And then they're actually really happy. They said that, okay, this is a way that we should should work. Actually, I will really appreciate that you are not agree with me, because this is the way that we actually come out with new ideas. So actually I remember the end of the project is that we set up a platform that we offer French people exotic wedding experience. I think this is the way that that our diverse background is really add a lot of value. And I think that but I think in my approach, what is different with the French people is that they're actually debate for debates, because they think that debate can help bring up some new ideas, whatever is like, for example, we have a meeting on 1 hour, and the French people, in order to show that they're really logical people, they're really like a beautiful speaker, they'll just like keep challenging your idea without knowing that where we should go, where we should end up. But my approach is that, okay, that someone bring up an idea, I may have a better approach. What I will say that I think this can be improved, because this can bring us to what business results. And only when I say that I can clearly see that there's a business benefit behind it, I will like debate with them, and to really like, I have a strong belief, and then I will like debate with them. But I will not like, when we will have 1 hour meeting and we know that what we should end up, I will not just waste my time to debate, but like French people would prefer do it. But I don't think they do that in North America.
Thanks, Yakun. I think you brought up a very good idea about challenging others. Nancy, go ahead. I have another question.
No, I just want to continue for what Yakun told us, which is very critical, because the French culture really embrace having a debate, as you said, the debate for a debate. So therefore, that's the advice or learning we can share with all the audience, is that, so watch your environment. If they really like people providing diverse thinking, yes, you should definitely do it. And there's no good idea or bad idea, to be honest. I'm managing my own team right now and also work in very diverse environment. There's no bad idea, to be honest. But if you work for a leader who criticize you all the time, not you, team member in general, oh, I don't like your idea, he criticized you, that means that may not be the right environment that encourage innovation and diverse thinking. In that case, you should either, okay, I comply with people do not like appreciate people providing new ideas, or you might be thinking about joining a new company, because it's up to you. If you think you just need to tuck your tail all the time, even if you have different ideas, or you have different ideas, people start to criticize you because they didn't like it. Now you need to seriously think about, is the right environment for me to stay here in the long run? So it's totally up to you. So therefore, start to watch people's behavior.
I totally agree. Yeah. Like yesterday, I actually had a discussion with a senior project manager at Shopify. And I actually asked him the same question that I hope to ask you as well. Because in North American, I think that I really have difficulty to leverage my experience in Europe. And when I talked with this guy, he told me that, oh, yeah, when I felt that you really know what you're talking about, you had a very relevant experience in product management, and you did a lot of different approach to test the user experience, etc. But what actually you need is a title of product manager in North America. So actually, I don't know how to leverage my international experience. And he told me that, yeah, definitely your experience is very valuable. If you feel that during the interview that someone is like challenging you on your international experience, then don't go to that company.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree. I work for many different kind of Fortune 500 company. It's just like people really have different reaction to who you are, what you bring to the table. Yes, exactly. I think it's more important if find a team who appreciate who you are. Your diversity thinking to some of them is, wow, that's gold. To some of them, it's noise. It's like American like this. Why even present your ideas? So really think about it. And therefore, Yakun, I think in general for you is that as majority of us are not from this country right away, or even we are not in tech before, right? We might be in like a fashion industry, you join tech is very different. So therefore start to think about what do you think is the ideal environment for you to grow into a long-term goal. right? And then the second is that I will start, if you're new to the country, and like you said you're new to the country. So
Very
I would,
new, yeah.
yeah. So I will immediately like look for help, look for American coworkers' help, not just Chinese coworkers help, because Chinese, they in the middle, they know something, but not as much as American coworkers. So I will start to build allies with somebody who is nice, who understand your international background, but happen to be in the company. Then he can give you some pointers. That's what we mean. That's your boss actually wants you to speak up. Things like that. He can pick up more clues than you or any other Chinese in the meeting, or internationals in the meeting. So really like build allies with those people and have them to help you as well.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, totally my pleasure. I love you sharing your stories. Help so many people.
Thank you. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Yakun. Following Yakun's comments on the challenging others, I have a question regarding that. Because in the tech world, usually in one group, you are the only woman, or in the one meeting, like director board meeting or some very significant meeting, you are the only one woman. So how to let other people hear you, and how to challenge others appropriately? How do we set the right boundary there?
Very good question. I have so many failure stories to share with you guys. So to be honest, the way I answer this question, and we're also learning how to deal with the situation, is to learn from failure, to be honest. I wish I had a mentor earlier in my career that helps me or show me that's a better way to make it happen, to be honest. But here's my 4 steps approach to address the problem. Is first of all, is do a good job. I think it's easy. Most of us know that, but that's a fundamental. To be honest, not everybody does a good job. Okay, but fundamental, do a good job. And second, build a brand of being very assertive, not being very likable, or any other terms describing you are weaker. May not be weaker. In their eyes, you're weaker. In your eyes, you're just likable. So, for example, the mistake I made very early in my career is that so crazy. To be honest, as a Chinese, as an immigrant, you just want people to like you, especially early in your career. You're not a manager. You're just there to learn, to be honest. So my goal is be likable, but nobody took me seriously at the time. That was my very first job, just being likable. And they said, oh, Nancy, can you take notes? Can you buy coffee? We said, that's front desk job. I'm a PhD, but was because I said the wrong brand. I just want to be likable, which is, it's not wrong to be likable, but at a certain stage of your career, you need to grow up from being likable to assertive. That's the biggest learning and also the biggest mistake I made earlier in my career. And so the third thing, what I suggest people to think about, this is, to be honest, it's more like woman type of talk, but people don't talk about it. I just want to make it transparent to you guys, is that your dress code also matters, especially in tech industry. If you're the only woman in a meeting, I suggest you do not to dress something too tight, too short, or like too sexy to the meeting, to be honest. But at least that happened to me, to be honest. I'm just learning that once what kind of women director exactly dress. I would dress like that. When you look at any woman CEO or woman VP, what kind of things they wear? Do they wear anything short or whatever tight? I've seen other women doing that, to be honest. I was like, and when I look around, so what do you do? It's a software developer, but wow, software developers do not wear things like that, right? So really look up to other women leaders, what their dress code. You should dress like that. That will like earn some respect as well. Just do not make those entry-level mistake. And also fashion style in the US and China and French is different, to be honest. But in tech industry, everybody wears hoodie. I'm not asking you to wear to wear suit or hoodie or something like that. But the key is that wear something that can help you to gain respect as a woman is critical. Number 4 is that find allies. Find allies who can understand women leadership. And then these allies should help you in the process. And for example, if there's the only woman in a meeting, you say something, right? And nobody just skip. Yeah, people skip me all the time, walk over me all the time, to be honest, early in my career. And then guess what? That eventually I started to have a like very frank conversation with my other male ally in the meeting, and also in the same team, just really asking for help. And they started telling me that, okay, Nancy, so next time I'm going to stand up behind you. If anybody talk over you, I would just point out, say, hey, Nancy has something to say. So that started to give me some push, and it's a snowball effect. And gradually I started to boost my confidence and use other 3 strategy combined. But earlier, when you're new to a team and you do not have the confidence, everybody walk over you. Yeah, have some ally to just say that, hey, Nancy has something to say. Oh, Nancy, would you say, oh, that's smart. Or I agree with Nancy, we should do this. Like something like that. It will help you for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nancy. Yeah, I also have a personal experience. Like when I just joined Microsoft, my boss was a male American, and he tried to steal my credit. So I did a very huge project, and I read a newsletter, but he sent out the newsletter without addressing my name at all, and he sent it out through his own email, and his name was just in the newsletter. So that happened, and I asked my mentor, what should I do? And my mentor told me that if he is a good boss, then when you talk to him about this matter, he will change his behavior. But if he continue doing this after you told him, then he must be a bad boss. So I told him directly that I think our team doesn't have a culture of sharing credit or giving each other credit. And he was like, no, I think I give everyone credit. I was like, that newsletter you sent out, I don't see my name. And he just laughed very embarrassingly, and he knows that. So I told him, I really value giving each other credit, and I want my name to show in the newsletter, my name show in the PowerPoint deck every time, and he knows that, and he changed his behavior totally. So I think sometimes we need to speak up. We don't want to hold back and guess, well, what my boss would like, how he want me to, to be likable, but just to share your thoughts and in a very respectful way and direct way. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And someone took my credit as well early in my career. As I said, I made so many mistakes early in my career, also helped me to accelerate later on. Yes. I had people who took my credit and shamelessly did that. And it just threw me under the bus. Like many different things happened to me earlier. Yes. You see them as a bully, to be honest. They know it. First of all, they know it. And because someone else had experienced it before. Whenever I was bullied by people, I start to talk to others. Do you feel the same way? This happened to you as well? Yeah. Other people say, yeah, he made me cry before. Yeah. So it happened. Hey guys, a white man told me that, yeah, this person, yada yada, made me cry on the phone before. It is abusive environment. Like something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not the only one, And then it's like when you see a bully, what you do, you should stand up for yourself. Exactly. You should never hide from that. Early in my career, I tried to hide because I'm an immigrant, I'm a woman, I want to be likable. It's so stupid. If you don't stand up for yourself, they continue to take advantage of you. Yeah.
Exactly. Some people just keep testing your bottom line until you cannot stand for it. So we just don't want to give them any chance to test our bottom line.
Carl, did you still work for the boss?
Yes, but we are getting along very well. Yes.
It's better now. Very cool.
All right. Any other questions from the audience? We encourage any kind of questions in the tech world or in from women's. Okay, I got one. Yan, I'll bring you up. All right, now you can speak. Yan, can you speak now?
Yeah, you need to unmute yourself.
I think she is unmuted or... Hello, Yan, can you hear us? There might be some server problem.
Yeah, and at the same time, I also encourage everybody to speak up as well, because I said the best way to learn and actually to discuss your cases, even sometimes your failure. And to be honest, there's no true failure. It's always what you learn from your failure story. How did you accelerate? I think that's a better hero story you can share with others. And to be honest, your future generations as well.
Yep. I see Yan is ready.
Yes, I'm sorry. I wasn't familiar with this, so this is the first time I speak up. So thanks for sharing your tips, and I want to have some feedback of or tips from Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a UX designer. And since you are director of product, you are familiar with the product environment.
Yeah.
So the situation for me is I used to work with a senior designer, but she just got promoted for another role. So I become the lead designer. And it is by no means a promotion, but for me, I think it's a good opportunity to prove myself. So I just want to get some tips from you as a product director of product, like what I can do to succeed in this role, or at least at the beginning of the transition. Do you have any tips for me?
Yeah, are you saying that you got a better title, or you getting bigger responsibilities without better title? You just want to know how to do your job better in this new role?
It is a new I'd say more responsibility, because in the past there's another senior designer, but she left. I become the lead designer.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So your question is more towards how can you do this new bigger scope job better, right? So great. So from my perspective, so you're right, as a director of product, I work with designer, different people. Now here's the thing, if you're a lead designer, you do not manage people right now, but I encourage you to really take advantage of this opportunity to build your leadership capabilities. One thing is skills, the other thing is scope of your work, so that you will sooner get promoted to be a director of design, or even jump ship to be a director or manager of at another place, right? So now how to take advantage of this opportunity is that, first of all, how to do a better job as a lead designer. So first of all, we need to understand what does a lead mean, right? So lead really means that you're making decisions for the entire design team. Design decision, you don't manage people, but people see you as, so what do you think? So you are making like bigger decisions and more important decisions for others. And on top of that, people are also looking up to you to say, okay, so that's my design, what's your feedback, how can I improve? You need to start to give feedback to other people. And third, you need to start to help other people to grow as well as a leader. Even if you don't manage people, but you're a lead designer, right? So any entry-level people in your team, you need help them to grow. And then you also need to dedicate, number 4, dedicate percentage of your time to start to think about, okay, so what percentage of my time is allocated to do the job by myself as a lead designer? What percentage of my time is allocated towards like helping others, or even directly to like review other people's design work and provide feedback, right? There's a fine balance between those two, and really depends on the level of the position you are. And of course, the more senior you are, the less real design work you will do, and the more like reviewing and providing feedback type of work you will do. So you need to understand what the right balance in your company as well, and what your boss, in this case, your boss must be head of like director design, head of design, what he thinks the right balance should be for you as well. So really have a very clear communication regarding the expectations with your new boss as well.
Thank you. Thanks for the tips.
Cool. Yeah. Good luck. This is a really good opportunity. So I recommend you to do this job very well and increase your scope and really implement the 4 things I talk about. And then let's say a year from today, you gain so much experience mentoring others, helping other team to grow, and making bigger decisions for your team. And guess what? a year from today, you can jump over to other company to become a director on your own. And then if there's opportunity inside your company, you will also be on the top, maybe top 3 or top 1, top 2 list to get promoted as well. But this is a really good opportunity. And my advice to you is that I think everybody needs to start thinking about, if I cannot promote within, then I need to promote out. It really depends on your career ambition, right? If you are ambitious, you need to think about promote without as an alternative solution if they don't give you opportunity to get promoted to a higher level. So it's up to you. You define how ambitious you are.
Yeah, Nancy, since you talk about promote out, I want to know if you just join a new company without any solid network and doing such a significant job in a higher position, how do you start, and how do you start to build your empire in the new company?
Very good question. I think to some extent, I was very lucky. When I joined the company, as I said, I'm very big and focused on building my brand. Everywhere I go, even back in Verizon where I work for them, people know my brand without me knowing them. It's crazy. So therefore, in the new company, I use the same strategy. I build very strong brand, very assertive brand, innovative mindset, and anything what I believe is the right brand I have. So starting from day one, I try to do this kind of brand. And step 2, I give presentations. I'm very good at giving presentations. So giving presentation doesn't mean that you need to give 1 hour long webinar, which I have many webinars. You can go to my YouTube channel. I have taught like more than 600 women how to negotiate, right? So all those are your brand, and doesn't mean that you have to give 1 hour webinar. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, show me your ideas, right? So I really took advantage of those speaking opportunities. Sometimes it's 2 minutes, but every time when I speak, I leverage my strengths and let people know who I am, and people memorize my brand immediately. And to be honest, because I'm also good on camera because I'm a YouTuber, so it's especially during COVID, people cannot see how short I am on camera. Yes. And then and which means the tall guy, short guy, big woman, small woman, we look similar in front of camera. And I also present better on camera compared with anyone else because I'm a YouTuber. So turn into a bigger strength for me. So people start to notice who I am very quickly. And the second thing, what happened was I got very lucky. I think it's a combination of my brand. It's also what the leadership love to do. And somehow my leadership start to present my bio to like senior leadership, very, very senior people in the company, all the way to the highest person in the company. And then and all those, like one day the company, like someone very high up in the company just emailed me, say that, Nancy, welcome to our new company. I'd like to have a coffee chat with you. So they reach out back to me. Was because step 1, I had very strong brand. Step 2, I used like public speaking skills. And step 3 is a combination of my leadership decide to show him my bio, and just people that leadership start to notice me. That's where I just start to continue to grow my network within the company.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Since you talk about that, you are a YouTuber. I don't know whether your coworker know about that or your boss know about that, because
they do.
They do? Okay, that's great. Because I have a concern that if my boss know I'm like a very active community lead, and then would that affect me in a negative way? Because I'm always thinking maybe they will think, I'm not working well, or I'm not spending too much time on the real work. So yeah, what's your thought on this?
So very good opinion. I do understand the concern, and to be honest, later on, I just realized same thing as a bully can choose to be a bully. For someone like us, we're trying to create better communities, help others to grow. Why they can choose to be a bully to others, we cannot be authentic ourselves to be a leader in our communities, right? So once I start to understand this, is that I'm doing a good service to the communities I really care about. Why I hide from it, right? So first of all, that, and second is it's really make it clear to them that my YouTube is separate from my work, and don't work on YouTube doing work, right? That's why everything I do is after work, during the weekend. There's no overlap at all. And third thing is that it's my specific decision. It's a personal decision, because I've been YouTube for 4 years. I got no attraction in the first 3.5 years. And suddenly my YouTube starts just growing naturally, organically. So therefore, I decided not to give up on YouTube. And I wanted to continue to grow. So therefore, when I joined my new company, I made it very clear to them. I had my lawyer to draft a letter saying that, make it very clear, Nancy has owned her YouTube channel and her like coaching business for a couple of years. Nancy has a right to continue to run it, but we want to make it clear to you that she will run it. She won't impact her work, but she will continue to run it as long as her personal time allows. So make it very clear to them is that I'm serving my communities. You have to accept me as a leader who's serving my communities. Yeah, I think they're fine with that. With me having a YouTube channel, helping people out. To be honest, if any company seeing what I do with the communities, and especially I taught over 600 women how to negotiate for free, people are like, Nancy, I don't like you being so active in social media, which means it's not the right employer to me, to be honest. I'm not selling drugs or doing other stuff, not doing makeup stuff. I'm helping people to grow into better leader. And I have so many women just reach out to me, email me, just saying that, hey, Nancy, thank you for your advice. I feel so inspired. And I always share lots of failure I had before, so many challenges. Oh God, I'm facing challenges right now. It's crazy, right? So people feel like, yes, I see hope. Thank you for being authentic. Now, here's the thing. If the new company think about, a community leader is it's a sign she doesn't work hard, whatever, it's not the right company for me. I'm just getting a new job if that's the truth, to be honest. And also, to be honest, some companies don't like it. I know Facebook do not encourage their employees to be on social media. So that's their policy, which means, and I will not going to join Facebook, but I'm going to help my student to get offers from Facebook to conquer the hurdle. But I'm not giving up my YouTube, my communities, just for the purpose of getting a job. I do believe that serving others is more important than just getting paid.
Awesome. Yeah. It's the first time I've heard you sharing you hire a lawyer to do that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I encourage you guys to protect yourself, to be honest. And here's the thing. Why not? It's not very expensive. Hey guys, once you see money, the money is not about spending money or making money. It's about return on investment. Same thing, you spend the money on learning, it's a return on investment. You spend money on like hiring a lawyer to protect your YouTube channel, which you spend 4 years to build, it's a return on investment. And to be honest, it's not lots of money. It's a few $100s. That's it. Draft a letter to make it clear to them. And review the offer letter, review things for you. The thing is that lots of us do not know, because we do not get access to those kind of communities or people. If any of the executives, they have lawyers to review their stuff all the time. And they spend lots of money and invest in lots of money to protect themselves all the time. Why don't you do it? And to be honest, a few $100 is not lots of money to protect my YouTube channel.
Yeah, good to know. Thanks for sharing. Any other question from the audience? We encourage people ask questions so we can have better discussion. You can share your failure, your success, anything.
Yeah, right. Feel free to raise your hands.
Nancy, I have another question. So I've heard you have a lot of mentors. How do you find those good mentors or sponsors?
I use a different approach, which also by accident invented by myself, which is very, very interesting. When I see mentorship is that there's a way you seek mentorship, there's a way the mentors find you. I always trying to create opportunity let mentors find me, which I did it by accident. And then I realized that how powerful this accidental methodology lead me to the next level. So I think 5, 6 different mentors in Verizon. They are like a director, VP, a very senior level out there. What happened was somehow when I just discovered by accident, when I reach out to my mentors, want them to be my mentor, they already, hey, Nancy, I've heard of you. Hey, come in. To talk to my EA, schedule some time with me. Yes, yes, I've heard of you and I heard great words about you. More than happy to talk to you whenever I'm free, right? But that's the outcome. But how did I make it happen was that, so first of all, I like to understand from mentor's perspective. So how did they select mentee, right? You guys think about it. If you become a VP or director, CEO of any other company, who do you choose to have a mentee? You will choose the next Steve Jobs, then next Mark Zuckerberg. Maybe right now they got nothing, but sometime down the road, you see the spark in them. Potentially they can lead to the next level, right? So therefore, how would you position yourself as someone who has a potential to grow? And then all those VP, CEO, all the senior level people, they all have, in this way, they'll have very limited time to mentor 100 people out there. They want to, but they don't have time, right? Which means they may only be able to dedicate, let's say, 2 hours per month to help somebody, which means 2 person. If you divide by half an hour per person, maximum 4 person. But how many people are there in their company willing to be mentored by this person, right? So therefore, step 1 is really position yourself as a next star or have potential to grow within the company so that this person can help to grow together. And step 2 is that, so the mentor's mindset is that they're looking for allies as well. They are building their own team. If your mentor is successful, that mentor is getting promoted to his next level as well. When he get promoted, he needs to bring people together with him. He cannot be I'm the only EVP in my company and I know nobody and I have nobody else in my team. No, he has already building his team even before he gets a title. So he's looking for the best talent, the best ally to join his team as well. How would you position yourself to be the best talent? Is a question to you. So therefore, position yourself first. So once you understand the mentor-mentee mindset, then what you need to do is easier, right? Which is building your brand, like what I love to do, and also start to speak highly of what you can do to the company, what you can contribute to the teams, and really let other people to speak highly of you as well. And then people start to know about you. So therefore, when you just reach out to other mentors, they already heard of your brand, which eventually will help you to drive and then also building a stronger relationship with your mentor and make it long-lasting relationship as well. So that's kind of advice I want to give you guys. Really change the mindset, let them to find you. I think that's the best mentor-mentee relationship.
Awesome. Yeah, I think if we are good at building our personal brand, then we are shining and then people will see us and yeah, it's easy for us to reach out. Great. Do you have coffee chat regularly with people around you, like your coworkers, like one-to-one?
During COVID, it's very difficult. Even virtual coffee chat, virtual one is difficult. Did you guys get busier? Hey, raise your hands if you get busier during COVID.
I do.
is uncomfortable, busier, and mind-boggling, to be honest. So I have fewer time to do coffee chat, to be honest. But before COVID, it's easier. You run into somebody in the elevator or in the kitchen, not kitchen, the dining area. I think it's very easy to have 5 minutes talk or even 2 minutes, 1 minute talk, because my strength is really public speaking. So quick talk, no problem to sell myself or even make connection. But to be honest, during COVID, I'm ashamed that I'm not doing enough. Really not doing enough, but I start to have more one-on-one cadence with other people in my team, with people outside my team, to really remind myself to do that more. But I am ashamed that I'm not doing that enough.
So if you have those one-to-one, what would you chat about?
Good question. So depends on who you talk to, right? What I realized is that very interesting, because I have talking to many different leaders in the company, and some of them proactively reach out to me, which is very interesting. The higher level they are, the nicer they are. The higher level they are, the more make you feel like you're important. The higher level they are, the less talk about the work, the real actual work, the more about life, understand who you are and understand your personality to figure out where you fit in the organization instead of talk about the technical details of your work is opposite. This is very, very bizarre. So therefore, so get ready. If you talk to someone extremely senior in the company, get ready for them to ask you about your life, where you're from, your school went to. Not in those kind of interview style, but it's more let's chit chat, right? So you need to have a meaningful conversation in those chit chat, and at the same time during those kind of chit chat, you need to start to think about what kind of life stories I need to tell this person to show that I am the next Steve Jobs, right? So, and sometimes I choose to tell them the failure stories I have and how I conquer those failure stories, which is at the beginning, I was, quick story is like, I was an immigrant. I only had $800 when I came to US, to be honest with you guys. My family never gave me any penny. I just got scholarship to get here, and I only got paid $1,400 per month as a PhD student. So I was very behind. Then they told me a story regarding how I like just transformed and transitioned from someone who's bottom of my class and to become the one of the youngest engineering PhD at Boston University. And that is very memorable like life story. And that person remembered, and he will always remember the story. So things like that. You think about any kind of life story that you think is very important for people to know. I call that life transitioning story. Everybody needs to think about those kind of stories so that when you do coffee chat or anything, you have several of those kind of small transitioning story to show that you're not just the average Joe who does job. No, I conquer challenges. I call that from zero to hero story. You came from zero to me. I came from -5, to be honest. How I do transformation. That's my strategy. I do it. But if I talk to other coworkers in the same level, I would do the same thing. I will also talk, but less about, oh, I was the youngest engineer in PhD. That's just more too intimidating, to be honest. But I will just talk about what's your life, learn about their family, their kids, and then at the same time talk something about work. When I talk work with my coworkers, with my peers, it's more about how can we work together? What do you need from me? Because the goal is really to launch a product. I really love my product wholeheartedly. It's more about making the product successful, making the company successful. What do you need from me? How can I help you? Then the conversation is easier that way.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, from zero to hero. That's the first time I've heard about it. That's good.
Yeah, remember zero to hero. I like to come up with acronyms. I like it.
Awesome. Any other questions from the audience? I don't see you guys raise hand for a while. Our room will be extended for a while, but we encourage many questions. So Nancy, I have another question regarding if you promoted from your peers and you need to manage your peer or your friends, like working friends. Do you have any of those experience?
What do you mean manage working friends? Just say that again.
So for example, you are in a group and the manager left, so you take a new spot and being the manager and manage your previous peers is that would be a challenging role sometimes, especially for a woman leader.
Did this happen to you? I want someone to tell me a specific scenario, then it's easier for me to give people advice. Can someone raise a hand? Give me a specific scenario instead of give you a framework. I have lots of framework, hey guys. I have so many frameworks. To be honest, I teach. I teach product management. Everything I teach is as a framework. Zero to hero is a framework. So anybody has specific examples or more scenario, then I can apply my framework to your real case scenario. If not, I'll just tell you the framework.
For example, I can give you an example. If because I work in a group with all males, only me is the only lady. So if it happened that my manager left the team, then if I have the chance to be a manager, how can I manage those guys?
Oh, I see. First of all, congratulations. They select you to be the new manager. That's awesome.
That's just assumption.
That's assumption. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, assuming this is true, and that's very true, right? How would you manage those guys? You were selected as a manager. That happened to me actually. Back in Verizon, my manager left. Of course, they have 5 people to be chosen from to become the new manager. They chose me, and everyone else is men or much older than me, to be honest. Crazy. I feel very uncomfortable and to be honest, lots of vulnerability. I feel I don't deserve it. What do they see? They see little girl, and most of them very tall, which is crazy. I'm so short, and most of them like really tall, and that's prior COVID. You can tell I'm half of their height. Just in general, when you're half of other people's height, immediately your confidence hit a little bit. To be honest, yeah, that actually happened to me. And then what I decide to do is I just talk about the elephant in the room. Just hey, you have 20 years experience, 20 years more experience than I have. It's crazy. I probably like as young as your kid or something like that. It's crazy. But I don't say it, but I admit that you have 20 more years ahead of me. But I also talk to myself, there's a reason I was selected manager, not you, even if you have 20 more years experience. But I just really like admit that you have more things that you can offer in certain domain knowledge, and therefore I need your help. I also ask them their expectation to work with me in terms of, so what do you think? Now I'm starting to manage the team. You have been managed by many people before, and some of them was a manager before. So what's your expectation for someone who's new to manage you? What do you need? Some of them would be like, I don't need micromanager. I was like, I'm not a micromanager. Perfect. Some of them just say, you just need to give me like general guidance where I need to go. I would get things done. I was like, that's perfect. Like things like that. It's more conversational. And at the same time, I always love to seek feedback. Every month, I will ask my team to say, hey, as a manager, I need your feedback. What did I do? How did I do as a manager? How can I improve? Is our communication clear? And things like that. I don't think it's losing authority, to be honest, because they know they just have 20 more years experience and I am half of their height, right? So it's more making more conversational. And there's a reason I'm there, they are not there either. So it's more, hey, let's figure out a way to work together. We have really great relationships. There's no such thing like, I hate this manager, I disagree with this manager and things like that, because I figure out a way to make them feel important and work with everybody. If you see work as something, how can you bring joy to work? That will be easier for everyone's mindset, to how they behave as well, which is also my principle, how I treat other people around me in general.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy. We have a couple minutes. I want to hear some questions from the audience. The intention for this Clubhouse room is to generate some discussions and share our. Okay, I see one. 泽宇. Right, you are on the stage.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Carol and Nancy, to share. I follow you guys for a long time. And since you guys mentioned that we need to think ahead as a manager before you become a manager. So, but since I'm now as an individual contributor, as a developer for now, how can I kind of like think advance since I'm not wearing the manager's boots? How can I do things to advance, to prepare? Because I have a friend, she become a manager recently, but I think she's not that ready. And she becomes like have a lot of things coming up, and she's feels kind of like really too much for her. So we want to kind of like want to be more prepared before we on that situation. So I would like to hear the suggestion for you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great question. I had the same question earlier in my career as well. As I said, I wish I had guidance earlier. I made mistakes to get to where I am. So many mistakes to share. It's crazy. But what I suggest you to do is that seriously start to find a role model. Role model doesn't mean that that person will be a mentor or something, right? Try to use a mentor relationship I talked about earlier to find the true mentor. But you start to think about, this person, this diversity woman, or doesn't have diversity, this woman is able to reach this level. I hope someday I'll be like her. So what does she behave right now? You can pick any VP or director and anything above you that you think you will grow into her. You just start to watch her. Oh, what does she do? Oh, okay. She present very well. She's very nice to other people, or anything you can describe who she is, to be honest. And then you continue to think about the next step. Oh, so she's very good at doing like work balance, or she's very, to be honest, nobody's doing like work balance well, to be honest, like finding out she's very good, like inspiring people. How can you start to master those skills? If your role model is very good at inspiring people, you should think about, okay, can I take a course to inspire people? Usually the solution is take a course, to be honest. It's very difficult to learn new skills on your own. And if you see time and money as a return on investment, everything is so easy to make decision. You say, okay, my role model is very good at inspiring people. What should I do to inspire people? Okay, so let me start to take some courses about inspiring people. And then at the same time, let me apply those principles. And then let me continue to watch my role model, what she do, right? That's what we can do. And step 2 is that, which is find a role model. And second step is find training. And third step is start to experiment what you learned, so that getting ready for your next job to become a manager. As you said, not all the managers, they have a fantastic life-work balance to get everything so organized. Not all the managers are very good at managing up and managing down and managing their peers. Usually those managers are good at managing maybe 1 or 2 dimensions, not all 3 dimensions. So therefore, in order to get ready for those directions is that, okay, so the next step to be this manager is, let me tell you what you need to learn regardless. The next step to be the manager or director is being able to inspire your team. Bring the right people on the bus. Make them feel so excited to work for you, for the company. That's inspiration skills you need to learn. And the second is, how would you influence without authority? That is also a skill people need to learn as well. What you need to say, how to bring influence, right? And influencing people is very, very critical. And also the third is that, okay, in your current environment, is there anybody around you that can help you to experiment a little bit or apply what you learned, and you start to pick up smaller things so that you gradually build confidence. So when the true opportunity of being a manager or those opportunities coming up, and you already, at least your mindset is ready. At least you learn, you try to apply a little bit. Now you're truly ready. And now there's a bigger roles coming up. At least you are more ready than your competitions and your peers. And then you continue to learn, to be honest. You continue to join community event like what Carl organized. You have someone to bounce off ideas. You have challenges. You talk to somebody. People say, it's normal. All the managers feel the same thing. Oh, I'm also very stressful to do what I do, to be honest. Oh, so stressful. Now you heard someone else, I'm also stressful. So, okay, we are all the same. Now it's okay. Yeah. Then you remove your mind block, and suddenly, after you remove your mind block, it's about solving problems, right? Solving problem, I don't think it's that hard. It's more see your entire picture more clearly and understand what needs to get done, who can help you to get into a next level. That can make it happen once you take the 4 actions I just described. Does this help?
Yeah, thanks so much.
One more thing, what you need to do is that all the promotion opportunity will not will not be given to you directly, to be honest. You need to, if you want to advance your career, you need to let your managers know, right? Who is the decision maker for you to become a manager? It's not your manager, to be honest. It is your manager's manager, 2 levels above you, who can see, it potentially can be a good manager sometime in the future. If the opportunity coming up in the future, we can give her a try, right? So you need to let them know your interest in advancing your career to be the next level, because not everybody want to become a manager, because some of them want to become, just have a good life-work balance. I've talked to some of my American coworkers. All they wanted is to be a manager. They don't want to be a director, because they told me that they have seen how hard directors are working in Verizon at the time. Directors in Verizon work really, really hard. I also work really hard, guys. I didn't know I need to work so hard. Yeah, so because I have kids, I have wife, I have seen how directors work really, really hard in a Fortune 500 company, at Verizon, Fortune 20 technology company. Hey guys, if you are directing Google, given the number 1 or 2 or 3, you work even harder than people in Verizon, to be honest. It's everything is the correlation related to the money you make, to be honest. So they were like, for the type of stress and money they make, and by putting in so much hours and time and stress you're going through, I decide not to be a director. But your VP doesn't know. Somebody want to be a director, someone doesn't want to be a director. If you want to be the next level, you need to let them know. At least now it's up to them if they pick you, and also it's up to the opportunity, if any opportunities in front of you, or it also depends on competition. Even if you let them know your competition is stronger than you, you don't get promoted. So there's many other things that really decide where you go next in terms of your career. But as I said, just get ready, and opportunities will come. And again, I encourage everybody to think about plan B, which is either promote up or promote out. People are afraid of doing experiment to promote out. That's their mind block. Sometimes you can do experiment, never know. You just interview at some other company and suddenly realize, people pay so much outside. Getting an offer is so easy. Then you just, I don't need to wait for 5 years to become a director. I can just jump here to then 2 years to become a director, or 2 years to be a manager. Yeah, there's lots of things people are afraid to try and do experiment, to be honest.
Yep, thanks, Nancy. I think that's a matter of risk management, right?
Yeah.
Whether you want to embrace that risk or you want to hold back and wait for a stable career setup. So that's your choice.
Yeah.
All right. Any other question from the audience? Nancy, during this time, can you introduce some good courses for us? Since you talk about it, we can take course to improve ourselves. And
yep.
I know you have some good YouTube courses. And what about other courses?
Yeah, some courses I highly recommend. It's also something I took. I only recommend the courses I personally took that I think is good. All the Dale Carnegie courses, and you guys should take it. I understand it's very expensive, it's like $2,000 per course, but any course I took, I see huge return on investment. Let's say I put $2,000 in, I got $20,000 out of it, the outcome in terms of salary or anything. It's very easy to quantify the return on investment for all the courses I've taken in the past, right? So take Dale Carnegie course and really take the entry-level Dale Carnegie course. Don't directly jump into the advanced public speaking. No, too advanced for most of us, even too advanced for me when I got started. Now I took advanced version. But when you get started, take the entry-level course from Dale Carnegie. The name of that course is Dale Carnegie course. Somehow the name that. So take the entry-level one, and that entry-level teach you what is influence, how people think. They also teach you something very different, challenge your mind. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be challenged. It's also have the course also train you on public speaking as well. So take the entry-level course, and then you can advance into more advanced level course, or authored by Dale Carnegie. And then I also recommend all the immigrants to take courses about not public speaking, sorry, pronunciation, English pronunciation. So that class is the biggest return on investment course I've ever taken throughout my entire life. I took that very early in my life during my work time. As I said early in my career, I don't get promoted. People took my credit. People laughed my accent. People thought I'm a like front desk girls. All of this, and I started to take courses. And one of the course I choose to take is just American pronunciation. I was like, they don't think I speak well. Let me pronounce better. So take some American pronunciation classes. I have a YouTube video called How to Improve Your Business English. I recommend everybody to take to watch the video because I gave you specific tips and also specific strategies I used earlier in my career to improve my English. Down below, I also list the type of like English pronunciation courses I took. You guys can find similar kind of courses in your own different communities. I think any pronunciation course is good. To be honest, if I can choose to take that again, more than happy to take it. Now I'm choose to spend my time to take writing classes. I think my writing need to be improved more than my pronunciation, to be honest. But if I have more time, I'm happy to take it again. So those two type of classes are very important. And I also took many different classes like negotiation classes or business model classes, and with finance classes, of course, product management classes. You should check out my product management bootcamp if you're interested. It's all on my YouTube channel and website. But my point is that, so think about what your role model look like in the future. If your role model has really good pronunciation, yes, you take the courses. You reverse engineer your role model. If your role model is very confident, I don't think this confident class, to be honest, but you can break confidence into how can you like influence others, right? And how can you communicate better, right? Your confidence can break into different things. How would you manage conflict? How would you manage office politics, right? All of this will build your confidence. And then just take those classes. You reverse engineer your role model, and also embrace the learning, also embrace the mistakes you make. I think people, well, I don't know, maybe it's a Chinese culture. I think American culture is the same thing. People like to talk about how successful I am. I dropped out of college and started a company called Facebook and made me billionaire. Now I donate lots of money. People like to tell you this kind of story all the time. But so many failure stories in terms of startup didn't work out, or people working for certain companies didn't work out, or even people getting discriminated in certain company. People don't talk about it, to be honest. So I encourage people to embrace failure and also openly talk about what you learn from your failure. Then you turn it from a zero to hero story. Like if you listen to my talk earlier, I have many zero to hero stories. That help you to shape who you are. It's okay you made mistakes. It's okay you're not as good as others. Life is never easy. Just like Mark Zuckerberg, you did one thing, drop out of college and become a billionaire later on. People make so many mistakes, and there's so many like pushback in your life. So really embrace it. That's why I'm very open about my challenges, different places, which made me feel like it's okay. Lots of my readers email me back just saying that I felt the same way. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
I totally echo Nancy's. Yeah, because I took a class yesterday about entrepreneurship. And during that class, one very successful entrepreneur said, you can learn from others' failure, but you might not be able to learn others' success because success paths are different from each individual. It varies very differently, but you can avoid others' failure because failure seems alike to each other. So yeah, so if you want to be a successful person, maybe learn from others' failure.
Yeah, I like entrepreneurial course as well, to be honest. If you want to be an entrepreneur, just think about what entrepreneur need to learn. I personally didn't take entrepreneur course, But I broke it down because I see myself as an entrepreneur. Just also, to be honest with you guys, I always want to join a startup company. I always want to start my own company, but only finally started from YouTube channel, and starting from last year, and finally start to do things I'm very passionate about. But the reason, to be honest, I was so embarrassed that I was, oh, you know what? I need H-1B, I need this, I need that. And I was waiting for my green card for 11 years and finally got approved. And now I can do anything I wanted. But I do feel like that if you think you are an entrepreneur, you can take actions earlier than I do. Don't be like me, like 11 years later, you finally try your entrepreneurial journey. You can start to try out entrepreneurial journey way earlier. If you think you're an entrepreneur, learn those skills early, do some experiment on the side. There are many different ways to do it legally as well. Or to be honest, even do some volunteer work, just to be part of team to start to learn. The key is that it's about taking actions, understand what you want, what you need, and take actions to really embrace what you are meant to be. Lots of you guys, I understand you have a calling in your heart, calling in terms of, I have a calling that I will be a business leader, even if I'm a software engineer right now. I have a calling that sometime in the future, I will be that Mark Zuckerberg, but I don't have money, but it's okay. You start to embrace what you don't have, start from day one. What can I do right now, right? I don't have money, can I learn how to raise funding, or should I build product first? I don't know how to build a product, learn product management, right? Or learn coding, or find a team who know how to build product with you together. Do not make the same mistakes. May wait for 11 years until I have a green card and start to do things I really love. I wish I had done that way earlier.
I totally agree. Just get started, no matter what, whether it's ready or not, because you never get fully ready. So just get started and do the experiment.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are over 6 o'clock already. And is there any other question from the audience? We will have a series of talk like this in the future. Please follow Nancy and me. We are going to host several workshops like this. And Nancy is a PM trainer, and she has her own PM bootcamp program. So if anyone are interested in being a product manager, follow her.
Yeah, come to my YouTube channel. When you search Dr. Nancy Li on Google, I'm top 10 search results on me, but Li spelled as L-I. Then you can easily find me, Dr. Nancy Li, L-I. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Evening.
Talk soon. Bye. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.